Thanks, Bob. That was awesome. I like the way he said, today's host. Pretty much the gig is over after this, but I'm today's host. Hey, great to have you here on this beautiful, what is today? May 11th. Gorgeous day in Mesa, Arizona, and a gorgeous day at our favorite place to have any kind of meeting, Crescent Crown Distributing. How about a big round of applause for Crescent Crown? Yeah, how are we doing on volume? Can you hear me in the back? Can you hear me? No? It's kind of iffy? All right. Is it me? It could possibly be me. I've got sinus problems. How about now? Hey, check, testing. Are you better? All right, let's start over again. I'm just kidding. We've already done that. Hey, I'd like to thank our behind-the-scenes sponsors. Please join me in thanking Alpha Graphics, Gateway Bank, East Valley Tribune, Yvonne Martinez Photography. That's Yvonne right there in the middle, who, by the way, side note, just had a ribbon cutting at his brand new business down in Mesa. So congratulations to Yvonne. Cobblestone Auto Spa, and once again, Crescent Crown for being our gracious host. And thanks again to Brookdale Senior Living for the great breakfast. That was awesome. Don't forget on your way out, pick up a little goodie bag, and that's something that other businesses from the chamber have put things in there. If you'd like to add something for the goodie bag, talk to Sally or Bob or anybody on your way out. Other announcements. Governor Ducey's going to be our special guest. He's got a really, I don't know why, but it seems to have a lot on his plate. So he's going to be in a real time crunch. So when he gets here, we're going to get him right up on stage, and then as soon as he's finished, he's got to jet out of here and get out of here. So he unfortunately won't be able to stick around and answer any questions. But I mention all that just to say, when he leaves, don't you leave, because we're going to have our special segment, which is the Day in Mesa Morning Live. It's a little trivia show that we do, and Mike Picard from Ocean Air, where's Mike? There's Mike in the back, is going to give away a $100 Southwest gift certificate. So somebody's randomly out of this is going to win an opportunity to come up on stage, do a little commercial about their business, and win $100 on Southwest Airlines. So don't leave when the governor has to leave. I know I haven't mentioned it yet, so now would be a great time to silence your cell phone or any kind of personal device you have. We know that maybe you've got to leave it on, but it can be silenced. And if it does go off, we'll consider that a $20 donation to the United Food Bank. So just silence your device as a courtesy to those around you and those on stage. All right, well, let's kick this thing off. We got a busy morning. No better way to start it off than, boy, when the company was mentioned, a big round of applause, so let's keep that up. Please welcome the Economic Development Project Manager from Salt River Project, Karen Gose. Karen, come on up. Welcome. Good to have you here. Welcome to Mesa Morning Live. I know this has got to be a huge career highlight for you.
It is. I've never been on stage before, especially with you.
Well, don't let this scare you away from future opportunities, because it's not always me. Well, thanks for joining us. And tell us, how does SRP support economic development in the Valley and maybe Mesa in particular?
Well, as you know, we deliver water and power, so that's our primary responsibility. But we also get quite involved with a lot of different organizations. So Greater Phoenix Economic Council, Arizona Commerce Authority, we partner with them, as well as all the municipal economic development groups. We work with each one of them to attract businesses to Arizona, the Valley, and specifically SRP territory, but we're great partners with all of our cities, and we work very closely with Mesa.
How do you work with all the other economic development organizations within the Valley? Is it pretty cohesive, how everybody kind of works together, hopefully?
Yeah, definitely. So all of us are part of GPEC, the Regional Economic Development Group, so we're all members. And so in addition, anytime a prospective business is looking to locate, it either comes through GPEC typically, Arizona Commerce Authority or directly through the city, and the city will contact us specifically when we have large power users, because large power users, that's one of their major costs. And so we try and facilitate the process for them. In addition, we work very closely with all the cities on sponsorships. So for instance, in Mesa, we've partnered with them on Aerial Mesa, which is a 360-degree bird's eye view of the Mesa business districts. And what it is it allows you to highlight major assets, major employers, new developments in the areas, the business districts. And so if you haven't gone there, look at Mesa's site. It's good for site selectors or prospective businesses. They can come in and they don't have to visit the valley. It kind of gives them a good overview of the area and the different assets.
When you mention large power users, for example, this place has got they've got a million cases and kegs of beer back there.
Yep.
Which by the way, I still don't know why we're not having a meeting on that side. I'm working on that. But their utility bill's got to be a couple $100 a month.
Oh, I think it's 99.
No,
so not quite.
Well, they're pretty energy efficient.
So the way we define large power users is a megawatt or greater. So for us in economic development, that's who we typically will work with, anybody that has that type of load. We will work with others if we're asked, but those are the ones that are a little bit more, I don't want to call them complicated, but a little bit more detail in times of the service they need, reliability. They're concerned, and energy is one of their major costs, so concerned about, what is their bill going to be like. So those are typically the ones we work with in economic development.
We mentioned attracting businesses to Mesa, which, boy, I don't know what I don't know who gets credit for this, but Mesa's really attracted a lot of great businesses recently. I'm sure that's a big concern if somebody's sitting in another part of the country and they're thinking about what they've heard about the Arizona desert. They're thinking, man, what's our bills going to be? What's the trick in recruiting somebody from the Midwest or another part of the country?
Well, I think Mesa has a lot of assets. I don't know if you guys are from here. I just moved to Mesa, actually, 2 months ago. Lived in Gilbert, so not too far. But Mesa has the Elliott Road Technology Corridor, which is attracting a lot of high technology companies. And for us, it's a great area because we have our 230, 500 kV transmission line corridor there, which is great for large power users. In addition, you have the Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. That's huge for prospective businesses, both from getting their employees or their leaders out quickly and bringing in maybe some cargo, et cetera. You also have the Falcon Field District, which is, we've partnered with Mesa as well on site visits. So we've gone to a conference with them, a medical device conference. And it's always good when the utility is there with a group. But I think Mesa has, that's just to name a few of the assets. They've invested a lot of money, I think, especially in the Elliott Road Technology Corridor. You have the water treatment plant. So I think all that lends itself. Quality of life is great. I think workforce. Workforce is one of the major issues right now for most companies, and Mesa has a great workforce, and even within the surrounding communities of Mesa, they can pull people as well.
A lot of talented people do business in Mesa. Look at this group right here. Holy moly, what a brain trust we've accumulated here. Yeah, thank you. I was hoping somebody would jumpstart that applause. Thank you very much. Now, I know that you said you just moved to Mesa from Gilbert, but you're originally from where?
I'm actually originally from Taos, New Mexico. Anybody know where Taos is? All right, yeah, beautiful place. Born and raised, left there when I was 18 to go. I went to school in Las Cruces, New Mexico State, and then SRP recruited me, and I've been with SRP 31 years, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
31, wow. So you started in Taos and then Gilbert, then Mesa. So you're doing a creep toward the West Coast.
Yes, very slowly.
So in about 300 years, you're going to be in like Blythe.
Is there an ocean there?
You gotta have a goal. Anything else that you'd like to share with us as far as maybe business opportunities or what SRP is doing to try to improve the quality of life in Mesa?
Well, I think up there we have our website, so if you have any questions about what we do, it's powertogrow.org. phx.com. It talks about our services that we offer in economic development. There's 3 of us. So we're willing, and if you have any questions at all regarding power, bill estimates, cost estimates, we can provide that to you as well. And we are, with the Elliott Road Technology Corridor, we have a lot of people looking at that. And so SRP is planning. We're looking at the future as to how we're going to meet that capacity. It's a growth area for us, so we work real closely with Mesa on that. So I think we're good partners with our cities, and particularly with Mesa.
That's great. Well, you're good partners, and you're a good guest. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mark.
And kicking this off. How about a big round of applause one more time from SRP? Karen Gose. Thanks so much. Hey, it's time. We do a little thing called Mystery Guest, and we truly don't know who our guest is going to be until right before the show. It's designed to encourage people to bring guests. So the Mystery Guest is the person or company that's brought the most first-time guests to Mesa Morning Live. And today, this is very cool. It's typically a business, but this is kind of a different thing. This is from Benedictine University. I'd like to introduce the head men's volleyball coach from Benedictine, and he's bringing somebody with him that I don't know that he's going to have to introduce. But I know the first guy. How about a big round of applause for Mr. Ray Lewis? Come on up, Ray. Good to have you here, sir. Thanks for being here. And Logan, Mark Cordes, have a seat. Coach Ray Lewis, men's head volleyball coach. Tell us a little bit about the volleyball team, and are you in season now, or?
We're actually done with our season. This was a special year for us. We made it to our first ever national championship.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a great year, great run. I've been with the program 2 years. This is my first year as the head coach, and the program's only 5 years old, and so making it to a national title was pretty special for us.
Oh, that's incredible. And is Logan, Logan, who are you? Are you Ray's bodyguard? What's going on there?
No, I've been with the program for 4 years now, and this was my senior year coming in, and I'm one of the players for Ray as well.
Oh, you are? Okay, well, great. And you were part of the, so what do we call you? The runner-up team? The, well, hey, you've only been around 5 years, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations. Ray, where are you from originally? What's your background, and how do you become a men's volleyball coach?
That's a good question.
Well, thank you.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, so I've been in Arizona going on 3 years in the Mesa area. I was in Chandler for a short stint, and then I moved out to Mesa. I realized pretty quickly where I should be. But yeah, so I started as a player originally, and then I went off to play a little bit in college and got into coaching and just fell in love. And I've kind of worked my way up from high school, and now I'm in college. I also coach at Mesa High, so I am Mesa through and through. So
That's awesome. And Logan, where are you from originally?
I am originally from Glendale, Arizona. So
Oh, there you go.
Not too far from here, but I go down there for the summer, see my parents, and then move back out here for school and everything else I got to do with volleyball and everything with that.
Wait, you see, go see your parents. What is it, like 20 minutes? What do you?
It's about 50 minutes. I mean,
Yeah, I got to go see mom and dad.
I try to get some time, but in season, it's a full commitment with school, with everything, with volleyball, with coaching. It's a lot of stuff.
I remember college. You got to have your laundry done. You go see mom. Come on, all right. Well, great. Well, so how is the program it's only been in existence 4 or 5 years?
yes,
And you've created this bar that's so high now. Where do you got to win it now, Ray?
gotta win it. And then after we win it, I don't know what's next. No.
Then you just retire.
I like that idea. I don't know how my athletic
You
director
go
would
out
feel
and you
about
just
that.
say,
but-
I went out as a national champ. What's the future look like? Do you lose a lot of players, or?
We actually return every player on our roster next year with the
Wow.
exception of one. So we're very excited about next year and our opportunity to hopefully win it this time.
That's awesome. Now, do you have any need for like an old guy? And why would you laugh at that? I played some beach volleyball.
Oh, there we go. You know,
And I think I might be a distraction if I were to wear a thong.
yeah, we don't wear those in indoor volleyball.
Well, I know, but Ray, you got to think outside the box. This is why you're not the champ. if I'm over there just taking up a little space in a Speedo,
That's true. That is true.
it'll be on SportsCenter, I swear. Yeah,
That's one way to make sports. That's a great idea.
that's the worst way to make SportsCenter. Well, great. Well, tell us a little bit about Benedictine. If somebody's sitting out there, not only in this audience, but watching us at home, and they've got a future college student, why should they go to Benedictine? Let's start with Logan on this, because you're there.
I'm there. For me, it's a small campus, and I love the small campus life. Everyone's involved in everything that you do, whether it's athletics, whether it's when inside school, and it's such a small community where 25, 30 people per class at the most, and so your teachers are there talking to you every single day, and when they don't see you, they're wondering where you are, and so having that close impact and that close touch with your teacher and being able to talk to them every day when you need anything is huge for a student.
Yeah, that never would have worked for me. I was shocked, the teacher, when I showed up at finals, like, have you been in the class? Geographically, where is Benedictine? I'm going to display my ignorance here.
We're right in downtown Mesa off of Main and Hibbert.
Okay, great. And Logan's given his pitch on why they ought to be at Benedictine. What would you say, Ray?
People care. I think that's the biggest thing, is it's a small, intimate environment, and everyone really cares, and they care, and they're genuinely invested in the student success. So being at other colleges and watching the interactions, I think it's truly special how much people care about the success of the students at Benedictine.
That's awesome. Well, that's an important part of your life, and to have that kind of a camaraderie and a small feel to it is got to be very important. So,
absolutely.
Well, congratulations on your great season.
Thank you.
Logan, thanks for being here and thanks for playing, and continued success in whatever. What are you gonna do with your life? What do you want to be? A lot of pressure, Logan.
I'm gonna follow my dad's footsteps and become a firefighter.
Oh, there you go. Are you going to have to make the big move all the way over to Glendale for that?
I already made the move back there, so.
Oh, cool. Well, once again, how about a big round of applause for Ray and Logan? Thank you so much, guys. Congratulations. Thanks, Logan. Great job, man. Thanks. All right, that was awesome. All right, next is our community spotlight. This is sponsored by Gateway Bank. Gateway Bank has been working for more than 10 years to earn the opportunity to do business with you. So if you're looking for a good business bank, talk to your friends at Gateway Bank. Please welcome to the stage, representing the City of Mesa as Director of Arts and Culture and Executive Director of the Mesa Arts Center, Cindy Ornstein. Cindy, come on up. Welcome.
Good to see you, Mark.
Good to see you, and thanks for being here. And boy, thanks for being the Director of Culture around this place.
We need a little culture,
We
right?
need a little of that. Briefly, tell us a little bit about your background. How did you end up at the MAC? If I call it the MAC, is that a term of endearment?
It's just fine.
Okay, good.
Yes, it's a term of endearment. I came here about 8 years ago to Mesa to take the position. I've been in the field of arts and culture for 28 years as an arts administrator in Michigan before this, and before that in Eastern Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Although I'm originally a New Yorker.
Okay, well, good.
Yay.
Three happy people about that. Well, welcome to Mesa, and boy, I'll tell you what. Round of applause if you've ever been to the MAC, the Mesa Arts Center. Okay. More importantly, round of applause if you've not been to the MAC. And why? It is truly a world-class place. Tell us a little bit about what a beautiful arts center you have.
Mesa Arts Center is really amazing. It's and I can say that and take no credit because I wasn't here when it was built, but the community really rallied around and put a lot of thought into building something spectacular. It is the largest multidisciplinary arts center in the entire Southwest United States at over 212,000 square feet. So 4 theaters ranging in size from 99 seats to almost 1,600. 14 visual and performing arts studios where we teach almost 1,000 classes to the public a year. 2 outdoor stages with all kinds of free concerts and events, and an amazing contemporary art museum that is free to the public.
I had no idea. Well,
Yeah.
tell us about, I know you've got some real exciting things going on now. Tell us about the dinosaur and, oh, here we go. I want to.
Yeah, we have some things happen on the street. And just recently we unveiled this wonderful dinosaur. You can see a picture of it. It is a new permanent facade treatment on the Arizona Museum of Natural History. And that is, as close as we can figure from fossils, an accurate Acrocanthosaurus, which was the leading predator in this part of the world 110 million years ago. So this is a local dinosaur, and it's breaking out of the museum. We had a Free the Dinosaur campaign to help raise the money to put this on the facade, and it creates a really exciting view of what's inside the museum, because before, this was an all municipal building. You wouldn't know there were dinosaurs and Southwestern cultural history inside, but this guy, or this, actually, as Tom Wilson, the director, says, this girl, because it's a female dinosaur, will, I guess they followed a female fossil, I don't know. So anyway, is breaking out and telling people that we have something exciting going on inside, and also hopefully will become a new icon for people coming to downtown Mesa.
I got to ask, how can you tell that's a female other than the fact that it looks really angry?
I would imagine that it's a question of being anatomically correct, and probably the male would have been bigger. I mean, that's normally the case with most animals.
And what's that called again? What is?
It's an Acrocanthosaurus.
Acro?
Which most people think of T-Rex as the big meat eater. This is a meat eater. This is the primary predator of its time in this area, so it's our local version of the T-Rex.
Wow, that's very cool. I just heard the thesaurus part, and I have one of those on my library shelf.
And this one probably won't tell you about words.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Well, it's very cool. And boy, now visually, that's got to be very striking when you're driving by. Has it caused any accidents?
No accidents, but we do see people slowing down as they go by. And you know, when we have big things out on the street, people do that a lot. We see them slowing down. Because we have some other big things out on the streets of Mesa right now.
Well, yeah, what is this? What do you got here?
So we've got Fantastic Planet, and Fantastic Planet is a 10-day installation of giant inflatable illuminated sculptures. So they're lit from within, as you'll see in a night shot, but they are huge, and they were created by an Australian artist named Amanda Pereira, and this is the US premiere of this installation. So it opened last week on Friday, and it runs for 10 days, so through this Sunday. Throughout downtown Mesa, we have 3 at Mesa Art Center and 3 others in downtown, including at the Idea Museum and the Federal Building. And these are really, really big and really interesting. They are aliens from another planet. She was inspired, Amanda, the artist, was inspired by the 1973 cult classic sci-fi animated film of the same name, and she decided her aliens are a little nicer than the ones in the movie. They've come to gently and peacefully explore our fantastic planet. And they're amazing at night, as you can see. Now, one thing I do have to say is that unfortunately we have very, very high wind gusts predicted today, and so possibly gusting to 40 miles per hour. So we will be deflating them for the day because of the high wind gusts. So they won't be lit up tonight and out there to look at, but hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate and they'll be back up and available on Saturday and Sunday. So please do come out in downtown Mesa over the weekend. But while we're at it, even though we probably won't have those to look at tonight, there are a lot of really exciting things happening tonight, free things in downtown Mesa that people should know about. We have a great opening of 5 new amazing exhibitions of figurative artwork, all based in the human form, which goes with Fantastic Planet, at Mesa Contemporary Arts Museum at Mesa Art Center. And that is 7 to 10 p.m. tonight and completely free. Come join us for that. Also, the Idea Museum and Natural History Museum are open free tonight from 6 to 10 p.m. So you can bring the family, come out to downtown Mesa and spend the evening. And second Friday night out, which happens every second Friday, has the theme Sci-Fi Friday in honor of Fantastic Planet. So even though you won't get to see these if you come tonight, you can see them over the weekend, but still come out and enjoy all the great stuff that's happening tonight.
Well, that sounds like fun, and free sounds good, I know, to a lot of people.
People
so
like that.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully the Mother Nature will cooperate and you can get the aliens back.
Yeah,
And,
well, you know, we didn't want, if we had left them up, we might have had aliens landing on someone else's roof who didn't want them. So better to, you know, take
That'd be
our
awesome.
precautions.
That'd be awesome. Well, how about a thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Go see the Mesa Arts Center. It's unbelievable. Cindy Ornstein, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here. Who knew that high winds would keep the aliens away? That's why you never see an alien spotting in Chicago. They're never there. Hey, it's time for the Mesa Morning Live Top 10 list. Joining us on stage from our sponsor, the East Valley Tribune, please welcome Mr. Chuck Morales. Chuck, come on up. Where are you, buddy? We're wrangling up a microphone for Chuck. I'll stall while Chuck... take your time, Chuck, really.
What kind of program you running out here?
That's right. Come on, man.
Impromptu.
Yeah, now I know why my paper's late every morning.
Yeah. Oh, come on, man. Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
It's a joke. I get it online. I sleep in. Come on.
It is nice and complete, though. It gives you all the local community news that you need.
Perfect. All right, Chuck, we got a top 10 list. You've created this. Tell us all about what the top 10 list is and run with it, buddy.
Okay, so now that we've officially reached summer temperatures and local golf course prices are finally start to fall to reasonable rates that some of us can actually go out and play. But with that in mind, we searched high and low to find the best value and or exciting golf course experience. So here now, from the home office in Rainbow City, Arizona, is the top 10 bucket list of golf courses.
Perfect.
And
Number
10, the Himalayan Golf Club, one of the most unique golf courses based on its mountain views. Golfers can expect plenty of wildlife as they play 70-foot elevated hillside tees, an island fairway, and a canyon amphitheater layout. So when you yell 4, it just goes on for hours.
That's awesome. I've actually played there. No, I haven't. Go ahead. Number 9.
Number 9, Knoll Arbor Links, golf for days. Meet the world's longest golf course. An average round of golf on your typical course will last about 4 hours. A round on Knoll Arbor lasts about 4 days. Measured to be 848 miles long, the course spans 2 time zones with plenty of service stations and accommodations along the way. And then understand that at the midway point, there's a divorce attorney.
I like that.
Mark, jump in. Help me out.
All right.
Work with me.
Number 8.
Number 8, Prison View Golf Course. This is probably the only golf course where a background check is needed in order to book a tee time. The Louisiana State Penitentiary Recreation Committee operates this 9-hole golf course. Before starting a round, it should be noted that play may be suspended at any time due to the institutional needs or the warden's discretion. Confusion arises when you talk about shanking with the guards. As a side note, all the golf courses have shiny new license plates.
I like that. Number 7.
Number 7, bucket list of golf courses. This is a Brickyard Crossing. Nothing can be said other than this course plays in and around the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway, home of the Indianapolis 500, where the turn, at the 9-hole turn, is actually at the turn.
I used to live in Indianapolis, and I played that course, so it's true. Number 6.
Oh, nice. Number 6, Furnace Creek Golf Course, located in Death Valley. Furnace Creek is 214 feet below sea level, making it the lowest altitude golf course in the world. In the peak of summer, temperatures can reach 130 degrees, a course to be played in the winter unless you want the full experience of dangerously hot temperatures. Their motto there is the last round you'll ever play. So put this at the end of your bucket list.
Number 5.
Number 5 in Coeur d'Alene Golf Resort. Pack extra balls for this one. Overall, this course has a pretty traditional park-like feel until you get to the par 3 14th hole. It's an actual island green that can be moved as far as 218 yards through a system of cables and winches. Golfers head over to the 15,000 square foot putting surface by ferry. which is generally a one-way ticket with the way we play.
Yeah. That's a beautiful course. Number 4.
Number 4, El Chameleon at the Fairmont Mayakoba. Time to take a drop if your ball goes in there. This course gets its name from the chameleon because of its ever-changing challenges. This course is filled with hazards and sand dunes and mangroves that line the fairways, with names like the Devil's Mouth and beautiful lagoons. This is probably our best chance to get a hole-in-one, Mark.
I like that. Number 3.
Number 3, Fossil Trace in Colorado. Make sure you can clear the boulders. Designer Jim Ing left old rusty pieces of equipment alongside the holes. Footprints left by dinosaurs on holes 11 through 15 make this former clay mine quite unusual, just to prove that golf predates Scotland.
I like that. Number 2.
The Opal Fields Golf Club. Well, this course doesn't have the outrageous cost one would expect to keep a desert course green. That is because they generally don't keep it green. This famous 18-hole par 72 course is one big sand trap. The grassless fairways create a lot of roll, and the oiled sand greens create a surprisingly smooth putt. And the nice thing is your bag is much lighter because you only need a sand wedge and a putter, basically.
Wow.
2 clubs.
That is a nightmare for me. And the number 1.
And the number 1 bucket list golf course, La Jenny in Aquitaine, France. Naturist golfers can feel free with a round at La Jenny, said to be the only place in Europe where the sport is practiced in a naturist setting. Golfers play the 6-hole course, but should be concerned about a full-body sunburn. I think I'd be more concerned if it was a 3-hole course.
I am.
Anybody?
It's got to be awkward to walk around with that.
This will be my first and last.
Got to be awkward to walk around with that black poster board on your butt the whole time. Well, hey, that was awesome. How about a big round of applause for Chuck Morales? Thanks, man. That is the amount of sunscreen that you would need for that number 1 course. Wow. Hey, it's time for our special guest, but I've got a special guest to introduce our special guest. Please welcome to the stage the guy that fills in for me when I can't be here, and one day I'm going to fill in for him. How about a big round of applause for the mayor of Mesa, Mr. John Giles?
Thank you.
Good to have you here, Mayor.
Thank you, Mark. I'll try not to milk my part this morning, but it really is an honor for me to welcome to the city of Mesa a great friend of our city, Governor Ducey. Over the last 4 years of Governor Ducey's term, the city and the governor's office have collaborated on some really great economic development projects like Apple's Global Command Center, the recently announced Skybridge project at Gateway Airport, first of its kind in the world. And these types of projects and others have put Mesa and the state of Arizona on both the national and the international map. So we really appreciate that collaboration. I was proud recently to endorse and support Governor Ducey's plan to raise teacher salaries in the state of Arizona by 20% by the year 2020. That's a big deal. Governor, I can tell you as the son of and father of Mesa Public Schools educators, that is going to have a significant impact on the lives of some of the most important people in our community. So thank you very much for being an advocate for education. And we look forward to our ongoing relationship and working with the governor, and it truly is an honor to have a great friend of the city of Mesa with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Governor Doug Ducey.
Hi, Mark.
Welcome, Governor. Good to see you here. I'm good. How are you?
How are you?
Good to have you here.
Everyone.
And wow, it's great to see you. I haven't seen you on the news very often.
It's been a crazy couple weeks.
Have you slept yet?
Well, it's been a long time since I've done an all-nighter. I think I was with Dr. Crow last week from ASU, and I saw Bobby Robbins from U of A yesterday, and I said, you know, in college I was somewhat used to that, but it really takes it out of you. And it wasn't just me. I think the entire team on the 8th and 9th floor did a couple all-nighters over the last couple weeks. So it was a worthy work, though. It was a heavy lift. We were committed to getting these teachers the raises that we believe that they've earned and deserve, and the state's really in a different financial position. than it was not too long ago, and we were able to do this. So to be able to look at these teachers and say, we can commit to a 20% pay increase by school year 2020 is a real positive. I don't know how many other states are in a position to do something like that. So it felt like an accomplishment, and we earned it with the work that was put in, and really a team effort, and couldn't have done it without our legislature as well. So proud that we were able to get this done.
That's great. Well, I know that's that's the headline that gets all the ink, but you've got a lot of stuff going on that you're trying to get done. I know the opioid crisis has been a huge issue with you. I'm just going to let you kind of talk about that a little bit, and where we are, where you see us going, and how you're going to get there.
Sure. So the teacher pay raise was the last thing we were able to do as we were to close out the session. The first thing that we did was tackle this opioid crisis that we're having in the state of Arizona. We've lost 800 Arizonans to opioids in the last 16 months. This is an epidemic not only in our state, but really across the country. And we knew that there was more we could do in public policy. So we had a number of objectives. One was prevention. People that are not yet addicted, we wanted them to understand what was going on in these situations. And I imagine everyone here in this room has their own personal story or extended family story. I know just for myself, I had some dental work done, and I came home with 30 of these, and I never took one. I was able to nurse this with Advil, and only for a few days. So many of our fellow citizens take these, and when you take them beyond 5 days, the incidence of addiction just spikes. So we wanted to make certain if you have a prescription for opioids now, they're going to come with a warning and a red cap. There's a limit on the first fill of opioids of only 5. If you have chronic pain, of course, you're going to be able to go back. We want to make sure people that are addicted right now to this can access treatment and services. So we put significant dollars in for that. And we wanted to make sure that bad actors and pill mills were really held accountable for their actions. And we also wanted to make certain that the people that needed these products, cancer survivors, burn victims, people for whom these drugs are really a miracle drug and the only thing that will provide relief, that they can continue to access these. But we started the session with that. I was very proud. We opened up with a special session, called on legislative leadership to pass a comprehensive package that we had worked with an addiction specialist, behavioral and mental health specialists, and law enforcement on. And in 4 days, we not only had bipartisan support, we had unanimous support from our legislature. So I'm proud of the work they did, and the plan that we passed has been called the most thoughtful, thorough, and aggressive legislation around the opioid epidemic anywhere in the country. So another thing Arizona can really be proud of.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I listen to an afternoon talk radio show that's based here in the Valley, and you know which one I'm talking about, and they're really up on the whole opioid thing all over the country, and they're always, not when you're on, but they're always singing the praises of what you guys are doing, so.
They're not always singing our praises, but.
Well, just on that topic. But no, I know what you guys are doing, and boy, like you said, everybody in here has got a story, so thanks for doing that. And like you said, there are people that have a legitimate use for it, and you don't want them to suffer because of you're not trying to paint with one broad brush there. So
absolutely, and the people that need these products, they are miracle drugs. But for people that have dental work done, or especially when you're working with the elderly and the young, you have to really be careful. You have to ask the right questions. I want to say, one, it's great to be back here. I think it's been about 4 years. I was here when I was a treasurer, and I think most people know before that I was in the private sector. So I want to say thank you to the Mesa Chamber of Commerce for hosting and sponsoring this. I really think it is the business community that's been such a positive in championing some of these good ideas. Because when you get the business community working together with the education community, and then you've got people in government that are listening, you can really get some good positive public policy passed. And that's really what I think these last 3+ years have looked like. And this opioid special session was just one component of that. We have more to do on this. It's not really just opioids. It's the scourge of addiction that we face in this country. And it's not only in our private sector. Many of our prisons are filled with people that need to feed this addiction. And it's what causes them to make bad decisions and oftentimes cause violent acts. So we're doing our best here. We've got a lot of good things. We can talk about it as the show goes on.
You know, you mentioned dental work done. You know what causes a lot of that is huge amounts of ice cream. So I'm just saying, maybe somewhere...
ice cream and proper dental hygiene are part of a... But ice cream in moderation is good for you.
Yeah, exactly. And if you were going to eat a really good, high-quality ice cream, what would it be?
I would suggest Cold Stone Creamery. Found it right here in the East Valley.
There you go. Well, speaking of which, I know you mentioned Dr. Crow. You're a proud ASU Sun Devil, right?
Yes, I am.
Well, and tell us, yeah, there we go.
Go Devils. Yeah, I'm a very proud ASU Sun Devil, class of '86, studied finance there, but came out here from Toledo, Ohio. Didn't know one person, had never been to Arizona, and fell in love with it. Around November of my freshman year, I started to wonder, why is there civilization in Toledo? I mean, I didn't realize this was possible, you know, the big blue sky and beautiful weather and such a warm, welcoming, and inviting state. And to see what's happened with the university, to see what's happened with the state of Arizona over the last 30 years. I can only imagine how natives feel. I mean, our development and progress, and the fact that we've hit 7 million people plus in terms of residents. And I think the eyes of the nation are on us as a great place not only to live, but work, play, recreate, build and scale a business. We were also just named one of the top 5 places in the nation in which to do business. And wow. I think that's incredibly positive, and it's a testament to our private sector. I know, coming from the private sector, that politicians don't create jobs. It's innovators and entrepreneurs. But governors and legislators and mayors create policy in which to attract business. And I think we've done a good job in Arizona in protecting public health and public safety. I think the Opioid Act is an example of that, while at the same time being very friendly to businesses and entrepreneurs that want to grow. And I think some of you heard that in my second State of the State, I said I would be remiss if I didn't thank my partner in growing Arizona's economy. And that's been California Governor Jerry Brown.
Yes, it has. Huh?
He has been a huge help to our state.
Yeah, that's he's kind of chasing them this way, isn't he?
Yeah, we have a lot of Californians coming here, and I really do want to welcome them all, as long as they are not Dodger fans.
I know. Well, I know you're a big sports fan, and by the way, you know who sat in that chair last month? Herm Edwards.
Herm Edwards. I just saw Herm's interview on Channel 8 2 nights ago. I don't know if you saw that. He's a very impressive guy. He's a really impressive, really eloquent, charismatic. I think that high school kids are going to have a tough time saying no to Herm.
That guy burns with a desire that's palpable. So, yeah, get him somehow involved in the government, man. That would be a...
Well, I don't want to get him involved in the government. I want him to win football games and graduate kids. But I told him, I said, I also want to own the state of Arizona. I was a big fan of Todd Graham as well. I really like Coach Graham. I think the world of him. He's got our academics in football at the level of Stanford. winning record and beating U of A, and really talked about values inside the locker room. And I think Herm is going to be that same way. And but I really want to see us own the state of Arizona. I want to see our high school kids growing up here, especially in the Valley, dreaming of playing in Sun Devil Stadium. And I think that's important.
The cringe you heard, we do have some U of A fans in the audience here.
I said I was going to be governor of all the people, and I will be, except for the third Saturday in November.
Yeah, there you go. And I like the U of A fan. I mean, not every student can get accepted to ASU.
That's right.
And they...
That's right.
I'm not even from here. I just like to stir the pot a little bit.
I want to just say to our U of A friends, I was in Tucson yesterday, and your new president there, Bobby Robbins, is just phenomenal. He is an incredible individual, Stanford-trained medical doctor, very innovative, out-of-the-box thinker, and that's a tough job. U of A has had 5 presidents in the last 11 years. We really needed to find someone who could serve at a minimum a decade, and I think he's going to do a great job, and they love him down in southern Arizona.
That's awesome. Well, hey, since we're stirring the pot a little bit, let's talk a little bit about the, I know the border has been in the news a lot, both internally in Arizona and around the country. What would you like to say about that?
Well, I think people understand in Arizona better than anywhere in the country that border security is national security. Border security is about public safety. And the president recently wanted to call the National Guard to the border. And this really isn't unusual. President Obama called the National Guard to the border. President George W. Bush called the National Guard to the border. The difference in this administration is that this president did it immediately upon seeing a surge in illegal migration. There was a 37% increase in illegal activity month over month, February to March. And there was a 203% surge in illegal activity year over year, March 2017 to March 2018.
203.
203%. Wow. So before those numbers even became public, Secretary of Homeland Security, Kirstjen Nielsen, called me and said, the governor's going to be conducting a conference call with yourself, Governor Jerry Brown of California, Greg Abbott of Texas, and Susana Martinez of New Mexico about having a surge of badges to the border, not to militarize the border, but to allow the border agents to be forward-facing. You know, these bad guys, the drug cartels, the human traffickers, they pay attention as to what the federal government does. And I think this idea of acting sooner rather than later, rather than letting a 203% surge become a 1,200% surge, there was immediate action. Today we have 503 National Guardsmen at our border. I really want to give a lot of credit to Secretary Nielsen. She not only came out here, she calls regularly. I just talked to her the day before yesterday. She wanted an update from me, and she was giving me the statistics that they had. But this focus is on these drug cartels. It's part of, with this opioid epidemic that we're facing here in Arizona, and then our making and taking steps to stop it, has caused a rise in heroin and has caused a rise in fentanyl and other synthetics. And much of that does come north through that southern border, much of which is still wide open and unprotected. So this isn't the ultimate solution, but it is much better when we do have those boots on the border and these drug cartels are being told, not only are we there to stop it, but if you're caught, you will be prosecuted. So it's a positive. I think it's something that the rest of the country is beginning to understand a lot better. In Arizona, we've understood this for well over a decade. And if you go to Cochise County and you talk to these wonderful Arizonans, the ranchers down there, people like John Ladd and Sue Krentz and Scott Arena, they will tell you that things have improved dramatically since we put together what in our administration was called the Border Strike Force. And this was the Department of Public Safety, led by Frank Milstead, former chief of police here in Mesa, working with our county sheriffs and working with local law enforcement so that we can be supportive of public safety and stopping the cartels and the human traffickers. We didn't have a partnership with the border agents in the previous federal administration. That is dramatically different now. We're working directly, communicating directly, and all 4 border states have been supportive with their National Guard. So I don't know how long it's going to be, but I think the idea of it should be there as long as it takes to make sure that we've got it quieter down there and safer, because however we look in the border counties is how we're going to look in our urban areas.
You know, I've never understood until you get down and see the border. That's why it's always kind of irked me that a bunch of bureaucrats sitting around a table in Washington, D.C. are talking about our border. That's like people in Phoenix talking about snow removal in D.C. We don't know anything about it. And it's, you know, so I think the fact that they're coming down here and looking at it and doing something about it, you know, good for them. If we don't have a border, we don't have a country. That's just my opinion.
I really appreciated that Secretary Nielsen came out and wanted to see the border. It is frustrating when you're talking to people, oftentimes that you don't know back in Washington, D.C., which is how I felt with the previous administration. And coming from the private sector and selling ice cream, I hadn't spent a lot of time in Washington, D.C. I certainly had never been back to a presidential inauguration. As governor, you get an invite and you get a pretty good seat, too. And I went back for this inauguration a day early to search out then General John Kelly, who was the nominee for Homeland Security. And I said, General, I just have one ask of you. This border discussion has been at the epicenter of Arizona, not just in this election cycle, for the last decade. So if you would consider your first trip as secretary to be to the state of Arizona. And sure enough, 3 weeks later, he was here, and we went down to Nogales. You can imagine the temperature inside that room. We had constituencies from both sides of the border. We had just finished that election cycle, and General Kelly, after about 20 minutes of speaking and listening and going around the table for another 20 minutes, it was about the temperature of this room. We were very fortunate to have a leader like that in Homeland Security, and I think we're fortunate with his replacement, too, in Secretary Nielsen. So it is an idea of focusing on the bad guys at the border, making sure that we have rule of law, and bringing some sense to how we're going to handle immigration in this country, which I think we all embrace. We just want to see it done legally and in the right way.
That's great. Well, we know how busy you are, and I know your schedule is, to say it's hectic would be an understatement, but we appreciate you carving out some time to come in here today. I know you're a huge sports fan. You probably just don't have enough time to go out and see a lot. What do you think of the Diamondbacks? How are they doing?
They're doing pretty good. I like this start. I think it's pretty much a historic start, not only for this franchise, but I think it's competing with some Major League Baseball records. So they've got a lot of talent. They might be playing a little bit above their weight right now, but that's okay. You have a lot of good luck and bad luck in baseball. It's a long season. I've enjoyed seeing them sweep the Dodgers and the Giants in these series.
Been fun, hasn't it?
Yeah. And, you know, we've had years where in April we know we're waiting for football season. Now here we're heading into the All-Star break in the next month, and we're leading the major leagues in power rankings and with the record. So I'm very hopeful for September and October.
That's great. Well, it would be great to see you be the host of a World Series game. That would be...
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, we thank you, like I said. Keep up the good work. If anybody's got something that they really got to... Can they fire off an email to you?
Sure. You can always reach us at azgovernor.gov. And we're responsive on social media as well, at Doug Ducey on Twitter, and we've got a Governor Doug Ducey Facebook page. And of course, we're out and about. I really enjoy doing this. Thank you so much for having me. I think there's no substitute getting out of the state capitol, getting in front of citizens, answering questions. We are proud of a lot of what we've done, but I think much of it has been informed by listening to our citizens and specifically to our teachers and principals and superintendents in this last session. So I'm thankful for where we are. We're lucky to live in such a wonderful, growing, prosperous state. It's a testament to the people that are here, the people that want to live here, and we want to continue moving good public policy and making sure we're taking care of public safety along the way. So thanks for having me.
That's awesome. I'd also like to acknowledge Councilmember Thompson's here. Where's Councilmember Thompson? There he is, right there. And so it's great to see you here representing it. And Governor, thank you so much once again. I know you're busy. Thanks to all your team for getting you down here. And I know they got to whisk you away now. But
you know, my chief of staff is Kirk Adams. I hear he lives in Mesa. And you know, I've been lucky. I think I've got, for a first-term governor, I've got the longest-serving chief of staff in the Council of Governors. So for you to have a mayor like John Giles here, and for me to have a Mesa resident like Kirk Adams as chief of staff is just a testament to good government. So I want to say thank you to Mesa.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
it.
Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for Governor Ducey. Thank you, sir. Great job, man. Thank you. All right, hey, thanks for not leaving because you want to be here for the big giveaway. At this time, we'd like to do our little monthly trivia show. Mike Picard from Ocean Air is going to join me on stage, and we're going to do our Mesa Morning Live. What are we calling this? A moment in Mesa Morning history. Close enough. There, close enough. Please welcome Mike Picard. Talk a little bit about Ocean Air, Mike.
Ocean Air, we are the trusted heating and air conditioning contractor in the East Valley because unlike many of my competitors, I don't pay my guys commission on the parts you need to keep your air conditioner running. So I like to say that at Ocean Air, we are tradesmen, not salesmen.
Oh, I like that. We are tradesmen, not salesmen. I like that. Okay, well, here, I'm going to reach in, randomly pull out a card. That person can join me up on stage with an opportunity to win a $100 gift card to Southwest Air. And I'm going to I know I'm going to need these. So, whoops, let's say it is Brian Lawson, Mesa Veterans Resource Center. Brian.
You know I'm getting visions of Taste of Mesa right now. The Lawsons always win.
Brian is a staple in the Mesa Chamber. Brian, tell us a little bit about what you do. 30-second commercial.
30-second? Wow. I'm with the Mesa Veterans Resource Center, and we're very proud of opening the center just last year, collaboration with the Mesa Chamber and Mesa United Way. And we're there as a one-stop resource for our veterans, so whatever their needs are, we are there to help them.
Awesome, nicely done. Now, let me explain the rules. Mike has got a trivia question. If you get it right, $100 gift card on Southwest Airlines. If you get it wrong, I don't even know what happens. Now, you can ask, if you need help, you can't ask me because I'm kind of omnipotent.
I think you pronounced that wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, impotent. I'm impotent. And you can't ask Channel 11, but anybody else could be your lifeline. So with that being said, and I'm sorry I said some of it, Mike, read the trivia question.
All right. The last time Governor Ducey was on this show was actually 5 years ago, March of 2013. What was his job title at that time?
5 years ago? He would have been, was he the CEO of Coldstone at that time? No? No? Can I ask?
Is that your final answer?
No, definitely not.
Governor Ducey was up here a little while ago, and he actually mentioned his...
Obviously, I was paying attention.
I think if you get this right, you're going to win something that I think you would really treasure.
Oh, of course. I knew that, too. Actually, he was a treasure.
Oh, what the?
I knew that.
How the?
I knew that. I was just playing along.
What? Oh, I can't believe. I can't believe I inadvertently must have given a tip. Brian Lawson, big round of applause. Congratulations on $100. Mike Picard from Ocean Air. Thanks so much, Mike. I think this has turned into Mike's monthly thing here. He's awesome at it. Thanks so much. And while we're thanking Mike, we'd also like to thank all the table sponsors at the back of the room. As you're leaving, don't just run out of here. Stop by and pick up some literature from different folks in the back. Well, we thank you for being here. We hope it was worth your time this morning. It's always great to see the governor and all of our special guests. How about a big round of applause for all the guests that we saw here today? I would encourage everybody, get down to the Mesa Arts Center. If you've not been there, boy, take your kids, take your grandkids. It's a beautiful place. We really hope you have a great month until we see you again next month at June's Mesa Morning Live. Go out and make it a great day, folks. Be safe out there. And let me say this, to all the mothers in the room, happy Mother's Day. Have a great day.